Hey, Seth. I know you. How are you? Seth, what is your father's first name? I think somebody wanted to friend me. Hello, Robert. I think it was your dad. He wants to check up on you, I think. All right, anyway, stick control book formulas, syncopation formulas, and maybe Joe Morello's book. Okay, so have those three books prepared. I did want to start with the syncopation book, but hold on. It feels strange being back. In formula number 53, or 43 rather, I guess he wants to check up on you, huh there, Seth? By the way, you did a lot that weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got me tired, man. That's unusual when it comes to drumming. But like I said, it was geared for 3-4 people as opposed to just one. Let's wait a little bit. We're a little early. And let's wait a little bit to see who. Hey, Paul came in. All right, we're going to work out of the stick control book formula, I believe number 43. You can call me Nat. You can call me anything you want, Paul. Don't matter to me. All right, we're going to work out of the syncopation formulas starting in the beginning. We're going to work with maybe the Joe Morello book. I'll give you the page on that in a second. And we're going to work on stick control formula, I believe, number 43. So if you want to prepare yourself. Well, you're a good student there, Seth. You really picked up a whole lot. You pick up quick. You have not an unusual way, but your own way of entering a concept. And once you have entered it, you clean it up and you play it. That's very good. We're going to have a few more September and December. Depending on the Viber shit. Why are you typing on the phone? Get on your computer. Ha. Okay, I'm just waiting for a few more guys. We could talk a little bit, okay, about the syncopation book. Where is it? I want to start in the beginning again. Now, some guys know this, some guys don't. If you know it, you're kind of revisiting, and if you don't know it, you're learning. Okay, so what I've done with the syncopation book is first understand what syncopation means. Okay? Syncopation means to change the feel. All right, anyway, today I get a haircut at 5 o'clock. I just can't wait, man. I got to get rid of this shit. All right, syncopation book, formulas. All right, first off, the term syncopation means to change the feel. Okay? So, if I have straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and what that is actually considered is straight up and down. That's the first line of stick control book, page 5, line 1. Now, if I said to you, syncopate that line, or swing the line, same thing, you're changing the feel. Yeah, the feel of the written notation. So, what happens is now you're going to revert to the eighth note triplet. Hold on. So what I do with the eighth note triplet is I count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when I'm interpreting something 1 and 2 and 4 and, all the downbeats remain the same. It's the first note of the triplet, whatever it is, if it's a right or a left. All the ands become the da of the triplet. 1 and 2 and 3. Got it? Okay, so that's how you interpret. Now what I did was I wrote out, I think 3 or 4 pages, and actually they are from the syncopation book, because I get so many people who, I explain syncopation to them, I explain how to interpret syncopation, and they're right back to 1 and 2. So I broke it down, and it's also for you as a reference. If you run into any kind of trouble, you can reference from this book. Now you look at the first line, which is the second page, section 1, and what you have is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if you look at it, the left-hand side is I wrote straight up and down. The next measure over from that is swung, okay, or syncopated. So now I don't interpret it now 1 and 2, 3, 4. I interpret it as 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Do we understand that so far? See, if you have the syncopation book and you look into page 10, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 lines. Actually, there's 6 lines. Okay, of that page. So if you have a problem remembering how to play it, 1 to 2, 3, 4. Look at line 2 in the syncopation formula book. You have straight up and down 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so now what we have, how do we swing that? Remember, I'm counting eighth note triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the downbeat remains the first note of the triplet, and the ands become the da of the triplet. So we're on line 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Pop. 2 and 3 and 4. Now right now I'm spacing it equally because I'm counting the eighth note triplet. But if I'm playing up tempo, 1, 2, line 2 in the formula book. 1, 2, 3, I have pop, 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 pop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a feel for it, so I'm eliminating the total count. At first, you want to do the total count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now, I know you guys understand it. You had it before, but I need to go over that again for those who want to revisit or don't know it. Do we all understand that? Seth, Robert? 9 people are in here. Nobody's in the chat. Hello. Say hello. Hello, ghost in looking at it. Come on, guys, get in the chat. Ask a question. Seth, you understand it? Robert, I know Paul does. I just needed to break it down. Now, you have a couple pages of that as a reference to, if you don't remember it or don't understand it, it's written in black and white so you can understand it. That's why I wanted to go over it a little bit. Cap Desire, Desiree. Hello, Cap. How are you? Your first time here, huh, Cap? Have you been watching? You understand, Seth? Have you been watching from the beginning, or you just got here? Ba doo ba doo boo bing. Da da ba da ba ba. Seth understands, Robert understands, and Paul understands. So, Cap, is this your first time here? Just, is that what you want me to call you, Cap? Okay, let me give you my email, Cap. You could email me, and I'll put you on the mailing list and send you the PDFs. How's that sound? That's my email. So after the lesson, just email me, okay? Now, what we're doing, I wrote 2 books for this site, actually, and people have been buying them, either the PDF or the book, and we're working from them, okay? So we'll talk about it if you, let's see what we got here. No, you have to email me. That's nice. Thank you, sir. Stacy, how are you? Email me. This way I could add you to my mailing list. This is going to go away after the lesson. So email me, okay? And I'll add you to the list. Hello, Stacy. How are you, sweetie? I mean, young lady. We're working out of the syncopation formula book. And like I said a couple times, I said, all right, a lot of guys know it, a lot of guys don't know it, and it's always good to review. So what I've done in the first section of the syncopation book was explain the difference between straight up and down and swung, how to count it. 2 different feels. Syncopation means to change the feel, okay? Now, I want to work a little bit in the syncopation book, page by page. I do want to go to the stick control book formula, and maybe I think it's 43, maybe. Who we got here? Paul, huh? Thank you, Paul. You're in your car. You're supposed to be behind your drums. What I was thinking about you, Stacy, when we talked a little bit when Seth was here on Skype, and you said that there was a page that you were working on, or 2 pages rather, with Jeff, okay, from the Joe Morello book. And let me see what page that was. Hold on, gentlemen. Come on. I believe that was 40 and 41, correct? Stacy? Oh, page 24 and 20, yeah, of the stick control book. But you said something about the Joe Morello book as well. I believe it was 40 and 41. Didn't you say that? Now I got to go get my stick control book. All right, then we'll hit that tonight, 24. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I'm talking about. Do you understand that? Do you need any help with that? It's just a different way to run down the stick control book. I have that out. That's what I'm looking at. That's not 24, 28. That's the Master Studies. You have any questions on that? This is good for you guys as well. Joe Morello's Master Studies. Sticking patterns, sticking exercises. All right, that's page 40, 41. That's what I like to do. All page 40 is line 1, line 3, line 5, line 7, and line 6 of stick control book. Okay, all right, we'll hit on that tonight, okay? We'll do that tonight. All right, we're in the syncopation formulas, and what I told you I've done, was I wrote out a few pages to show you how to interpret the stick control. All right? You guys who have the book and who have the PDFs, any questions before I hit up the next formula? Any questions? Guys, help me out here. No questions. All right, we can go to section 2. Now, section 2 is actually what I got from the stick control book. It's one of the exercises, is accent development. It's about one of 20 different exercises. If you guys remember, before it's a prerequisite, no questions yet. All right. It's a lot easier listening to me here now, Seth, because you spent some time with me. You understand what's going on with this a lot better, correct? All right, we're on section 2, okay? And the syncopation formulas. Now, all this is a same thing that we got from the stick control book, but the stick control book is a prerequisite. And it's in the formulas as well, but it's, come on. It's in the formula book as well. No questions, no questions. Okay, so now, we did this exercise over the weekend, I believe, Seth. I gave you, what this next section does is not only develop accents, but it also develops reading. So from taking or referencing from the stick control book, now we take it to another level, is taking it as an exercise to develop accents with reading. So like we did, just a little briefing on the stick control book, we were playing all eighth notes, if you remember. And I said, okay, we're going to reference off line 1, page 5. Only the rights, we're eliminating the lefts. And we're going to make the rights the accent. So now the level comes into view. 1, 2, 3, you have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That was the first guy. The second one, all the rights, like I said, is a prerequisite or a preliminary exercise for this. Now, the second one, the rights reverted to the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now the levels are there. Now we went to line 3, we have 2 rights and 2 lefts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm doing it with the right hand because I'm lazy today. But we understand that. Okay? What that is just from referencing off the stick control book. Now, what I did was with the syncopation book, I've taken this a few different ways. I wrote it out, first off, a straight up and down. Then we're going to swing it. Okay? We're on the first section, exercise 1, example 1, and example 2. Now, I demonstrated, what's a downstroke, what's a tap, what's an upstroke, and what predicates that is the notation. If I look at example number 2, okay, and that's accent development section 2, I have 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what's written, so I'm going to make an exercise out of it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Do we understand that, guys? All right, now I took it to another degree. I took that same exercise or example and I took it as a swung exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the. Now we're underlining it with the triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. I'm just trying to go over this so everybody understands it. Now, according to the tally here, there's like 12 people watching. Hey, Jimmy, there's 12 people watching. There's only 5 of you in the chat. Where did the new guy go? Where is he? Cap Desiree. Is that you? You missed out on a good session, Jimmy. I got Seth and myself so tired. After the lesson, all we did was eat and go to sleep. You want to come down and party? Hello. We're in the syncopation formula book, and we're going to go to the, after I finish this next exercise, we're going to go to the stick control book formula book. All right? I think formula number 23. Are you understanding this, Cap? You understanding what I'm doing? Because you don't have the music. See, this kind of stuff you would have to purchase. Other than that, if you're on my mailing list, what you're going to get is the agenda for the week, okay, and PDFs if necessary. Now, I cut, as of today, for the next 2 months, July and August, I cut down the stream to 2 days a week. In September, I'll be back to 4 days a week. Right now, we're doing Wednesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, just so you know. Jimmy! Who is Jimmy Higgins? I have no idea. What's this, the New Orleans Boogaloo? That's all you need right now, Cap. The first part of the lesson was from the stick control book, part of the lesson. Okay, so now we're going to just, any questions? I don't want to spend a lot of time on straight up and down and swung, okay? I do want to go to the formulas. Any questions? If you're late, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go over the lessons. You just need to be on time. I know things are, you know, you just got out of the recording studio and all that good stuff. Sorry. Okay, we're going to go to formula, let's see, 43. Everybody let me know rather, when you have formula 43. This is a linear exercise. We've done this maybe 2 years ago. We're going to do it again today, just to see if you guys are on your toes here. Let me know when you're on it. Formula number 43. You got it? All right, Robert's got it. Okay, Jimmy, Paul, Seth, number 43. Now, before I play this, I want to show you how I've come up with this. Robert has it. Okay. Now, this is a pretty simple It sounds complicated and it looks complicated, but it's actually very, very simple. I'm referencing again from the stick control book, the first line. I make R, you have to remember every time you see an R, it's going to be the floor tom-tom. That's going to be 1. You see a left, it's going to be your right hand on the hi-hat. 2, 3, 4. So I just did the first right, left sequence. Right, left, right, left. Now I'm thinking 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So with that being said, I'm going to do the same example. All the rights are here. All the lefts are your right hand on the hi-hat. So if I did the first sequence, right, left only, here's what you would have. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now that's only the first right, left. So if I go to the next one, it's still right, left. I'm going to have 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay? Now, I'm going to skip line 2 and go to line 3. Now remember, R equals the floor tom-tom. L equals the right hand on the hi-hat. So I have the first guy would be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4. So actually you're hearing right, left over here. 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4. You got it? We go to line 5, it's a paradiddle. 1E and a left E and a right E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Do we all understand where I'm coming from and what I'm doing, how I'm interpreting the page? I'm counting 16ths. R becomes the floor tom-tom. Left becomes the right hand on the hi-hat. And we're counting 16th notes. It's very simple. Now we're going to add the E and to this exercise. Now the E and is going to be constant throughout no matter what line we're playing. So I'm going to do line 1 slow. And I'm going to leave the duh out. I have 1, E, and duh. 2, E, and duh. 3, E, and duh. 4, E, and duh. Do we understand that? Now, that takes care of 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the E in ands. So now we're going to have to do the duh. So we start every time. If I go to 2, that would be 2 E and duh. I'm going to play my hi-hat with the foot before that's the duh. Duh 2 E and duh, and the right is duh 3 E and duh. So I'm going to do it slow. The first one. 1 E and duh 2 E and duh 3 E and duh 4 E and duh 1. The left, the right, the left, the right, the right, the right. Line 3. Oh. You follow me so far? I slow it down and break it down somewhat more. Oh. You understand it, Robert? You got it, Paul? Seth, you understand it, right, Seth? You need to do it slow. I guess you could say there is a level, because when I'm traveling from the floor tom-tom, I'm coming up like this. I'm arcing it, and I'm arcing it back to the floor tom-tom, so there's an arc in there. Okay? Stacy, do you understand that? Cap, do you understand that? Paul understands it. Nobody else understands it. Okay, it's a really nice swinging exercise. You need to do it slow. That's the magic word. The right, the left, the right, the left, the right, the left. See that? I do line 3, the right, I'm sorry. 1, the left, the left, the right, the right, the left, the left. We see that? You got it there, Cap? Cap, how long you been playing? And where are you from, Cap? Are you from America or are you from out of country? Slow is the key, without a doubt, Seth. Okay, Seth. Robert understands, Paul understands. Where's Stacy? She quit. She didn't quit, she just turned her phone off. She's driving. Cap, where are you from? Now, you want me to run down the whole page of Stick Control Book, or you understand it, guys? Do you understand it? Yes? All right. I don't think the other people know how to get into chat. You're from Spain. Okay, good. I have a few other guys come here from Barcelona. I don't know. There's another town, a couple different towns. Barcelona, Spain. I've never been to Spain. But I do have a lot of people from Portugal, from Spain, from Italy, from the UK. Actually, I even had them from Sweden. Huh. Okay. What time is it at your place? Paul understands. Cap understands. Okay. Now, with that all being said, any questions? We're gonna work out of the Morello book tonight. We're gonna review this again. So, practice it. Tell me what the problem is, or what the problems are, and we'll address it. Now, what I like to do is keep a I'm trying to keep an agenda, but it's very difficult because I have students here from all different levels of playing. So the guys who understand what I'm doing, and they've been here when I did this, it's nice to review it. Okay? What I need, though, is questions. That you have any questions about what we do, what the level system is. You know, the level system is very involved. I surfacely explained the level system as the 3 positions, the full stroke, the half stroke, and the quarter stroke. But that full stroke, or what's good? You got it, Jimmy? How you making out with the camera, Jim? I want to see you do something. All right, so you come back tonight with some questions. Work on this. You having any difficulty? We'll deal with the difficulty. But like I said before, on line 3 in this formula, let me see. You're on, hey, Robert. You're on Stick Control Book formula number 43. You have right, left. You have right, right, left, left. What's the problem? Number 3, is that what you're talking about? On line 3, the right are not the same. They sure are. Check it again. Line 3, the first stroke you have is a right hand on the floor tom-tom. Then you have 2 E and is the snare drum. Da is the bass drum. On 2, you have a right, which is the floor tom-tom. E and again is the left hand. Now you're using the hi-hat with the foot to hit 3, because that's now a left. E and is again the left hand. Da, 4. E and the bass drum, back to 1. Look at it again. Line 3 to right are not the same. The line 3 is right, right, left, left. You see that, Robert? You're referencing right, right, left, left is what you're playing. Yeah, that's supposed to be a hi-hat. On the E of 2 is a hi-hat because you're going in with the right hand on the hi-hat with the hand. Let me play that. Line 3. You're starting off with the floor tom-tom. Okay, and you're going 2 rights in a row. 1, E, and da. 2, E, and hi-hat. Da. 3, E, and da. 4, E, and da. The left, the left, the right, the right, the left, the left. What's the problem, Robert? Yeah, the hi-hat is the foot on the bottom. You have that on the key. If you look up at the key, the X on the below the staff line is the hi-hat with the foot. And the X, the symbol for the hi-hat above the staff is the right hand on the hi-hat. There's no issue there, there's no problem. But that's, good if it's not being confused. It's the hi-hat foot. Yeah, well, this will do it. Don't feel bad, Robert. It will do it to you. It will mix you up. It's not easy. It's unusual. I'm interpreting. I developed a formula, so you have to stay in the parameters of the formula. You could just hang out with line 3 for a while, or go back to line 1, or do line 5, or whichever line that you want to do. I wrote them out so you could see it. But eventually, you could do from 1 to 72 in a stick control book utilizing this formula. All right, Jimmy, that would be good. I'd like to see that. I want to, maybe later on tonight, after I get my hair cut, I'll talk to you a little bit. I still don't know who Jimmy Higgins is. I really don't. And to me, I listen to that, and I'm trying to figure out where the 1 is at. I can't figure that out. And if I want to be honest with you, that sounds like a whole lot of garbage. There's nothing there. If you have music to go with that, that would be nice. But, you call it whatever they want, a New Orleans boogaloo, I don't know. Anyway, any questions? Hey, Jimmy, if you're in the market of buying a cord, look up B&H. Look up B&H. They're in New York City. Tell them what you want, and they'll mail it to you. So you don't have to wear your face mask. Hey, Cap, how are things over there with the virus? They settled down at all? All right, I'm about to sign off until tonight at 7 p.m. Now, next time you see me, I'll have a haircut. Hey, it's only been 4 months with this virus bullshit. Okay, guys, any questions? Everybody understands? There's so much to do. I need to stay on track. I need to stay on the agenda. But the questions are fine. If it takes me off the agenda, that's great, man. You know, I don't care. Because it's for everybody's benefit, for everybody's advantage. Okay, now don't forget, Cap, email me. I'll put you on the mailing list. And, you know, we'll talk a little bit, okay? You're welcome, Robert. If you have any questions with that, don't get confused. It's going to confuse you. It's best to put it in your brain as opposed to reading it, because it's all a reference from Stick Control book. It's the same thing. Okay? Right, left, or right, left, right, left, left. The reason why I wrote it out is so you can understand it. I get a tremendous amount of requests. Can you write this out? Can you write that out? So you know what? Whatever I'm teaching, I wrote out. It's a book. You can buy the book or the PDFs. You know, every morning I wake up, I'm sending out to 70 people 6 pages. And that, you know, and I don't even get a thank you. That's what's the killer. Okay, we'll see everybody tonight, 7 p.m. Have a good rest of the